नेक्स्ट में मैं बुलाना चाहूँगा हमारे नेक्स्ट स्पीकर को, डॉक्टर रूपांजलि हजारिका जी को। आप आए और हमें अपने रामकथा से अनुग्रहित करें। थैंक यू।
Namaskaram. A very good morning to everyone. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to KZ Somaiya Institute of Dharma Studies for arranging such an excellent conference on Ramakatha tradition. I'd also like to express my gratitude to all my informants for enabling me to stand here today. Whatever I'm going to share from this stage is that I have learned from them only. It is my collection. It's not my interpretation. Thank you. And I would also like to pay my tribute to all the informants who have already passed in this journey. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to say a few words about the Karbis. The Karbis represent one of the prominent indigenous tribes of Northeast India. Generally, it is believed that they have migrated from the Kuki-Chin area in Western Myanmar. Precisely, the Karbis belong to the Mongoloid group, and linguistically, they belong to the Tibeto-Burman group, particularly the Kuki-Chin group of language. They are patrilineal, but I would also like to add that they had exchanged they co-lived with the Khasis. So Khasis are matrilineal. So in this process, they have borrowed some of the cultures, some social values from the Khasis also. So they are not purely patrilineal. They are divided into clans known as Kur, Ingti, Terang, Inghi, Timung, and Terang. Renowned scholar S.K. Chatterjee opines that this group of people belong to the Kirata group of people and Kirata Janakriti. Fukan Center Frangso, another scholar, Karbi scholar, opines that their migration must have been during the first and the second millennia before Christ. The Karbis practicing their tradition, they practice their ethnic religion. According to their religious belief, each and every object such as waterfall, hill, forest, rain, sun, moon, everything of this universe has its own individual gods and goddesses. A Karbi proverb goes like, Chaplong eri murti adon, Thengpi anang arnam inut, a demon in each cliff, a deity in each tree. The Karbis believe that gods, spirits, and demons are of two kinds. First one is benevolent and second one malevolent. They try to please gods by practicing tantrism. Sacrifices are performed in every worship, preferably a fowl. Some essential items of worships are rice beer, egg, plantain leaf, bong. Bong is a dried shell of bottle gourd, and holy basil, bamboo, resin, wild creepers, plants, turmeric, ginger, flower, incense, rice beer. There are different types of rice beer among them. Especially Horpo and Horlong, these two types of rice beer they offer to God. Ramakatha Traditions has a powerful presence among some pictures. In my PPT, I have arranged pictures and videos and audio clips. I am not putting text there. The Karbis, Ramakatha tradition has a powerful presence among the Karbi population. Sabi Alund, an oral recitation, is the masterpiece of Ramakatha traditions among the Karbis. Karbis recite Sabi Alun both in prose and verse. It is noteworthy to mention that the Karbi people call the Rama story as Sabi Alun rather than Ramayana. Sabi Alun literally means a song of great word. Lunchepo sings it using Lori and Van San rhyming scheme. Briendranath Datta, a folklorist of Assam, opines that it is more likely that some popular version of Ramayana story, either oral or carried through some folk entertainment media, served as the model for the narrative of Karbi version of Ramayana rather than any of the literary Ramayana works. Moreover, the Karbi version of Ramayana is so full of ethnic Karbi folk elements that it is better to regard it as an independent growth, planted and nourished in Karbi soil with only graft taken from outside. In the book Cultural Contours, the story of Sabi Alun regionally differs slightly as every version is an individual performance. And this also very much important as they recite it, it's in their oral tradition. Besides geography, local places penetrates into the narration. God Hemfu, the supreme god of Karbis, created Sabi Alun to give Karbis the pleasure of foremost music. Karbis so perform rituals to please Hemfu and Ram Lakhan before and after reciting Sabi Alun. Some indigenous elements in Sabi Alun are, I'm just mentioning some elements. If I keep on saying, I will keep on saying and saying and saying. So just I'm mentioning few. Number one, I'm saying it is Ravana has 12 heads and 12 wives. Among the Karbis, number 12 is very important. So wherever I listen to their, whenever I've listened to their recitation or any story, anything, they always mention number 12, number 12, number 12. Rama took 12 days here, Sita took 12 days. Number 12 is very important. This thing is very clear. Is this number 12 has something to do with their creation meet. And we all know that Ravana he has 10 heads, but here 12. Vivekan, Mahiravan, Meghnath are brothers of Ravana, not son or brother. Samsariso, being worried of, Samsariso is a Karbi god. Once being worried of Ravana's terrorism, sends Rama and Lakhan to art as his death cause. Sinta and Durpanaka. Sinta means Sita, Durpanaka means Shurpanaka, are created to work as a catalyst. Dohram King means Dasharatha, is a prosperous farmer. He is not a royal person. He is a farmer. He is a very it's a typical Karbi person. So here, the Karbi people, they relate Dasharat, Rama, and Sita as next door girl or boy. He sends Rama, okay. He sends Rama to exile for 12 years, not 14 years, again 12. Sinta takes birth from the egg of a peahen. Her father comes to know about it, very interesting, when she carries food to him in Jhum cultivation field. When she is grown up, young enough to carry food to her husband, sorry, I'm extremely sorry, to her father, then only father came to know, oh, I have got a girl. So that's very interesting. And this fact is because they do Jhum cultivation. And in Jhum cultivation, the places are far away. It takes lots of time, sometimes days to travel. So they don't regularly travel to their cultivation field from home. So they stay sometimes for months. And here in the story, it is shown as years. So this is the reason. Sita moves a gigantic iron bowl lying in the yard with single hand while cleaning the homestead. So she is as powerful as Rama It is not only Rama that he lifted the bow, Sita too, because in tribal society, the women are equal to men. Rama decides to kill Lakhan in anger when he was found nowhere. He found Sita nowhere. However, Lakhan somehow counseled Rama, and thereby the latter refrained from such heinous action. Newborn Hanuman wishes to help Rama by seeking permission from his mother. At that time, his mother expresses surprise as his umbilical cord has not yet fallen. Then Hanuman convinces her, saying that his cord will fall off while he will cross the sea by swimming. Lasso means lover and Keho means Kusha are not naturally twin brothers. Sita publicly wishes to go to her original abode, as she feels that her purpose of taking birth is fulfilled. Sita doesn't go to and doesn't enter art out of this with the fear, means feeling of hurt, pain, abandoned by Rama. She willingly decided to go because she is strong, she is empowered, and she thinks that my mission, my purpose of this life is fulfilled. Ravana is killed, so I can go back to my heavenly abode. Now, indigenous characterization and narrations are also seen. Rama is a good farmer. He also dries meat pieces under the sun for future consumption like any other Karbi man. Sita is a typical Karbi hardworking lady with fine sense of weaving. Karbi ladies are really excellent weaver. Rama and Sita's marriage was performed by Karbi Adam Asar custom. Rama stays few years at the house of his father-in-law according to their custom. Sita serves her guest with rice beer, erica nut, and betel leaves, etc. The Karbi Ramakatha tradition has got its manifestations in their rituals, performance, mantras, meats, beliefs, customs, life cycle related ceremonies, festivals were not. But now, as my topic is magic, I'm going to say a few words on magic, mantra. The Karbis have firm faith in magic and supernatural power. This aspect is seen in the story of Sabi Alun as true representation of their culture. In the story, this picture, the demon in each cliff, a deity in each tree. Here is the Karbi king, Ram Singh Ronghang, this present Karbi king. And according to their customary law, his capital is in Hamran district. Okay, here I stop. The story different in the story, different characters transform themselves into any form according to their wishes, such as Ravan assumes the form of a deer, not Marisha. Theso Mahadi, Surpanakha, transform into beautiful Karbi girl, sometimes into a comb also. In addition, magic can help in changing destiny, as Hempu brings Ram and Lakhan back to lives after Lava and Kusha beheaded them in war. Karbi tradition is in this Karbi tradition mantra are chanted for socio-magico some magico-religious purposes. The people believes that recitation of these charms can bestow blessings of God and eliminate misfortunes and disease. Asarte, that means the head of a village, headman of a village, is well versed in the subject of magic. He must be. He performs the magic on behalf of the individual or villagers. Ramakatha has entered Karbi world of magic over time, whose impact touches their actions of individual as well as social lives. The Karbi Rama mantras have basically three categories, as collected and witnessed by the researcher. First one is Kafiram. Okay, here I missed. This king, Karbi king, is reciting the Sabi Alun. When I went to the field, the king ordered a minister to recite the Sabi Alun, but the king was not satisfied. So he said that this must be done with austerity and with perfection. So he became my informant. I'm so much grateful to him. It's not coming. Oh, try. Oh. They recite this Sabin alone continuously for 3 days and 3 nights, maintaining austerity. Sorry.
This one?
Just delete first 2 minutes.
Okay.
Just,
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Yeah, I'll show you.
He's not wearing his king's attire. He is in his normal attire.
Gun. No. Chinam na yo amesi. Banang tumram pen gan mini. Anil. Ana. Habar hoy den char ten deuni. Lagun ai ini kilo megnang yi siya bangki ang lo arsi habanon jiang aru penari habanon kilong awansi Mai.
Next one.
Just his picture.
Hold on.
Is this a video? Yes, yes. Stop. Right now, stop.
Yeah.
After I demonstrate, you please stop.
I'll.
Kafiram. This mantra is simply uttered by the performer. After finishing the mantra, performer blows air like this from his mouth on the inflicted part of the body and massages slightly. Some of them are Firui Aban, that is, it's used to heal snake bite. Vamu Aban, to ward off one's suffering in future. Ok Aban, to heal fever caused by the sting of catfish. Ram Aparam, to heal insect sting or bite. The mantra, Ram Aparam mantra goes like this. I'm just trying to give you a sense of it. The mantra goes like, one day there is a text. Each mantra speaks about a story. This story is about Rama. So the mantra goes like, one day wasp, spider, centipede approached Ram looking for some defense mechanism. Before that, they didn't have the venom. And so everybody used to come to attack them. So at this, Ram blessed them with venom for self-defense. However, Ram also said that whoever recites this mantra will be cured of this insect sting. Then Bi Aban, to heal pain and fever. This mantra of Bi Aban talks about creation of pain and fever on the earth. According to it, all the arrows of Rakshasa, Rama, and Ravana transformed into pain and fever as they entered all the rocks and trees. While they were in the war, some of the arrows fall on the earth, some stuck to the trees and rocks, and later they spread, and this created pain, and they spread among human and animals. From those rocks and trees and other objects, they came to human body. So these are the cause of pain and fever. Then Sakelang. This is also related, it's related to divination. In divination in the Mangal Dekhna, but is it? Okay. It is performed to know the future, get divine guidance, unveil secrets of nature, and judge our action. The Karbis frequently go for Sakelang to go out of dilemma and ignorance. Some Sakelang are recited to Rama's story. Sabai Sanglang. Here, Koris are used to for the divination act. Sabai Sakalang is performed by throwing Koris on a bamboo sheaf. Here, divination is done by counting the pairs of Koris according to their position. And the text says that the mantra, Rama split once the bellies of the Koris. And endowed with magical power, he blessed the Koris to act as a diviner if men in distress come to it for guidance. Like this, we have another Sanglang for female. This mantra is believed to be introduced by Sita during the exile period. According to the text of the mantra, one day Rama goes on hunting deer, leaving Sita at home. In jungle, he spends lots of time chasing the deer. Meanwhile, Sita becomes worried about Rama's arrival. Therefore, she performs divination in the name of Rama near the hut and declares Sanglang as Mihip Sanglang. It is called as female's divination because Sita invented it for the interest of women. So Sita is also as powerful as Rama. Phelang Sanglang, it speaks about Rama's order to banana plant and stretching grass to guide mortals. Here, they plantain leaf they use for divination purpose. Then here I can show you one divination. Here bamboo is used. You can see just this much. Is performing our worship. He split the bamboo, recited the chanting, and
Mongol Sava, no? Mongol Sava. Bhalai se na?
what is done, it is good. If both, it is, it's not good. If try second time. Next. Yeah, this one, please come. This one. Here, using banana plantain leaf. Oh yes. He performed this for me. There was a Ram Puja, and I requested him to perform the puja for so that I can record it. Then he asked for whom? Then I said, yes, me. Then when he was doing that, my heart was like, okay, if it is not in my favor, I was just thinking, but luckily it was right. God blessed me. Yeah, next. Yes. Rama helped me perfectly. Yeah, this puja he performed. So quickly coming to the end. Then finally the Kachli. Kachli refers to worshipping of God. Ramakatha has entered undeniably some of the Kachli ages back. Mir Ase Kachli here, it is performed by a asserted to treat epidemic cases, which is presently very rare. Necessary items are a basket full of flour, a red roaster, which is sacrificed at the end of the worship, banana leaves, basil leaves, bamboo, scented resin. The text is like this. The mantra speaks about that once Rama rescued people of a village from epidemic attack. So Rama suggested them to worship him, Lakhan, Sinta, and Sangsarisu to get rid of epidemic. So till then, whenever there is an epidemic, they perform this puja. Then most important, this Sakfanpi Kakli is about worshipping Rama for welfare of a family. It is performed to overcome serious misery of the family. This performance starts at the midnight till sunrise. And it is believed that an outsider, if uninvited, suddenly, unintentionally arrive during the Kachli, then he is going to die very shortly. They do believe. So all the villagers are informed about it in advance. Then Sakfanso is performed on behalf of an individual wishing his good health and every success in life. The priest, he is the royal priest, he performed it for me. So I feel so much honored. Then here, so Ram Asap, Lakhan Asap, Dei Hung Ang, Amen Ave, Pura Amun Ave Pune, O Sing Khan Kanthe, Oi Langkhan Kanthe, Oi Singkhan Richu, Oi Langkhan Richu. Preface, give your ears to Rama's story, Lakhan's story. You people should not ignore glory of Rama's name. Here I utter them. So just 2-3 lines I just give. They do believe Sabinanul will remain as a part of Karbi, sorry, there's a mistake, oral tradition, as long as the sun and the moon will shine in the sky. This is a Karbi house. They built it in Chum fields. The story of Rama has profound influence on the minds and hearts of people all over the world because of its handling of universal passions, sufferings, and ideals. It depicts the subtle human relationship eternally, relationship between a husband and a wife, a brother, between brothers, son and father, and so on. Their ethnic status, it depicts, their ethnic status has welcomed the inevitable cultural integration. At present, though, it is advocated that they have remained isolated from pan-Indian culture. Even in the remote past, they were integrated with the ancient Indian culture. So Sabian is in the evidence of it. So a comprehensive effort to create a lineage or to establish this connection with the greater fold of the culture of India may help to do away with the concept of we and they by facilitating the process of psychological unification. So if Ramakatha is the ocean, the varied Ramakatha versions are rivers, continuously meeting its destiny. That is ocean of Ramakatha. Thank you. And I would just like to say a few words. Today is my father's first death anniversary. So I pay my tribute to him with these words. Thank you. is a picture. This is these 4 branches represents their 4 cours. And me being there, I could not resist myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rupanjoli Hazarika. आपने कार्बी कम्युनिटीज में किस तरह से राम कथा और मंत्रों के साथ उनके जो समन्वय हमारे उन कम्युनिटीज में दिखाई देता है, उनके साथ जो 12 का जो संबंध है, वो किस तरह से तांत्रिक प्रैक्टिसेस भी है और राम कथा भी समाहित है वहाँ। आपने बहुत अच्छा एक चीजें बताई नॉर्थ ईस्ट में। मित्रों, जहाँ से मैं आता हूँ वो छत्तीसगढ़ है और वो माँ कौशल्या की क्षेत्र माना जाता है, अर्थात राम हमारे भांजे थे। तो श्री राम के स्थान से और हमारे छत्तीसगढ़ से करीब 30 किलोमीटर दूर माँ कौशल्या देवी की बहुत बड़ी प्रतिमा स्थापित की गई है। 75 ऐसे प्लेसेस सेलेक्ट किए गए हैं छत्तीसगढ़ गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा, जिसमें राम पथ गमन कहा जाता है और उसमें वृक्षारोपण हो रहे हैं, वट वृक्ष, फलदार वृक्ष लगाए जा रहे हैं, कई करोड़ खर्च किए जा रहे हैं। और उत्तर प्रदेश से उसका संबंध है और वो सीधा महाराष्ट्र से जुड़ता है जब वो नासिक की तरफ बढ़े थे। और वहीं पे शबरी जी का भी हमारे छत्तीसगढ़ में आश्रम है, तो काफी बहुत प्रसिद्ध है। हमारे जिले से ही 100 किलोमीटर दूर के अंतर उनका स्थान माना जाता है। तो जिस गांव में मैं रहता हूँ वहां पे 2 रामलीला मंडली है, मैं खुद उसमें पात्र बनता था और हमारे पिताजी 35 वर्षों तक रामलीला चलाए। हमारे पूरे छत्तीसगढ़ में रामलीला रजिस्टर्ड पार्टी रही, पुलिस आती थी और वो प्रोटेक्ट करती थी, क्योंकि कुछ रावण भी और कुछ राक्षस भी आते हैं, आप समझ रहे हैं। तो उनके प्रोटेक्शन के लिए वो आते थे। रावण और राक्षस का अर्थ होता है कि कुछ ऐसे उपद्रवी लोग। तो इस तरह से रामलीला चलती थी। हमारे जस्ट बगल के गांव में रास लीला होती है। भगवान श्री कृष्ण की भक्ति परंपरा उधर है, राम की परंपरा हमारे तरफ है। तो काफी अच्छा संबंध है दोनों गांवों के बीच में। थैंक यू। अब आज के अध्यक्षीय उद्बोधन के लिए मैं उससे पहले क्वेश्चन आंसर हो जाए। आपके अगर प्रश्न हो तो हमारे अतिथि वक्ताओं के बीच आप अपने प्रश्न रखें, उनका समाधान प्राप्त हो, ऐसी आशा है। ऑनलाइन जुड़े हुए हमारे प्रतिभागियों से भी आग्रह है कि आप अपना प्रश्न आप चैट बॉक्स में टाइप करें, जिससे हमें ज्ञात हो और आपके प्रश्नों का उत्तर प्राप्त हो।
If you have any questions, if there are any questions from the audience, kindly direct it to the person you want to ask the question, and kindly keep your questions brief and to the point. Do we have any questions?
My question is to the anyone in the panel. My question is anyone to the panel. Now, because the Ramayana Katha was introduced in the Northeast late, in the UP and the Bihar, it was a well-known, everyone knew the Ramayana and Ramakatha. So I wanted to know how the Ramayana spread in the Northeast. Is it because of the efforts of the state kingdom, or the people who went from the Bengal and the Bihar, and then they spread over there? And my another question related to is this, that in the Northeast there is a equality between the man and the woman, mostly in the tribal culture. So when the Ramayana was performed and introduced, how in the Ramayana Sita followed the Rama, and there was a higher position of the man in the Ramayana, in the Ram also. So how it took the people, how it took the difference between the gender.
Hello. Thank you, sir, for the question. So I will answer your first question. Rupanjoli will take the second question. So yes, I mean, obviously the efforts at textual production, of Ramayana in the vernacular in the Northeast happen primarily from the Brahmins. I mean, this is the textual production. I'm talking specifically about the textual productions. But as far as oral traditions were concerned, I mean, So see what happens, oral traditions, whether it's Ram or whether it's Krishna, these are symbolic manifestations. Certain practices have existed since, a long time. So subsequently what happens, the stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata, they get integrated into the local beliefs. So, as far as textual production is concerned, yes, there were migrations of Brahmins who were given land by the kings. I talked about the Kachli king, and there were Kamrupa kings from the 5th century onwards, and they gave land to the Brahmins, and the Brahmins returned the favor through prashastis conveyed through copper plate inscriptions and stone inscriptions. So the pan-Indian, and also in Samudragupta's 4th century Allahabad inscription, Kamrupa is referred to as the Pratyantya Rajya. As so Kamrupa, the earlier form of Assam, or name was part and parcel of the larger Indic imagination. So the communication was there, in terms of exchange of knowledge, and the story of Rama was part of that. Story of, even in Kalidasa's in his I think in one of his plays there's a reference to Kamrupa as well. I'm forgetting the name, which play. So, but as far as the oral traditions are concerned, I mean, the stories were subsequently integrated into the local imagination, the sacred geography of the region. So this was a continuous process. It's difficult to find the origin point, but this was happening across centuries. So, and it differed from communities to communities. How the communities responded to these narratives. This is important. So keeping their own dynamics intact. So it was not a unilateral process. So the communities actively reprocessed and responded to them, contextualizing them within their own geography. So this was a very active act of responding to the quote unquote the Rama story. So maybe you can add to it. Yeah, please.
I'll just add to what he said, particularly see if you like just talking about Northeast as a kind of region, then do we have different kind of cultures, not actually culture but difference also. So we should also be understanding, for example, when I talk about the Manipuri Ramayana, I'm talking from the particular community which is called the Meitei community, and who are Meitei Vaishnavite. Okay, and if you look into the migration, there is a text basically which is called Bamon Kutoklon, and which actually record the coming of the Brahmins from all over part of India, and there's a text there and it's available there. And but on top of it, like what I would say regarding Ramakatha is, you see that it is from the Kritibasi Ramayana. Okay, so partly, and there were a lot of interaction between what you call now Bengal or Bangladesh, because it was part of the Sylhet kind of period, and then there were a lot of people moving here and there in terms of trading, in terms of other things. At the same time, when you talk particularly about this thing, the proliferation of the Rama stories, basically it is through these orators or narrators, we call it, and that they do not necessarily like Brahmins. Like I've looked into their genealogy, there is a particular family called Warilibam. Okay, from the Warilibam, they call it Warilibam. Okay, so there's and the king has given them a place to stay, and they are not basically, and now most of them are not Brahmins basically. They are from Meitei, but with a narrative art, they're actually promoting, or there actually is the kind of what you call the fate, or what you call the ethos of the story among the people. So that is what I would add.
Kalidas's play Pragjyotisha finds mention in Raghuvansha.
Just regarding the status of men and women, I just like to say it's just my own feeling that when you accept something totally without question, that is not acceptance. But when you accept, realizing, understanding, internalizing, and giving it your own thought, your own feelings, that is the genuine acceptance, and that is love. So here, among the ethnic community, they have accepted this Ramakatha with a sense of love. Nobody forced them, throws Ramakatha upon them. So this deviation, this speciality, their ethnic elements flavor proves this fact that they have embraced it with love. Thank you.
And also, we must understand one thing that, generally, these retellings are seen as departures or divergences. But we must keep one thing in mind, that when these characters, when they are sort of integrated into a particular community belief, it's not that they think that, in Valmiki, Rama is projected that way, we'll project him in this way. No, they don't do that. For them, these are signifiers. Rama is a signifier. Sita is a signifier, and those signifiers are given meaning into their own community. It's not that we choose to differ. No, the difference, the very difference is integrated. It's part and parcel of their consciousness. So Rama becomes there. For them, that consciousness is something which is inbuilt, ingrained within their thought process, into their tangible as well as intangible cultural manifestations. So we should see them for what they are, not vis-a-vis, say, Valmiki, or vis-a-vis even Kondoli, or vis-a-vis, any other textual systems. So I think this kind of a very focused attention is necessary, vis-a-vis, these interpretations. So thank you.
Can I just
Absolutely, yes.
Right. Can I just take one online question?
Yeah.
Are there more questions here?
Do we have any?
There is.
My question is, are there any references of Ramayana in Ahom Samrajya? And how Ramayana is popular in the Khasi or Hajon community? Anyone can answer. Actually, I came late, so I don't know who's covering what topic.
Yes, see, within the Ahom community, yes, there is a Khamti Ramayana. It's part of the Thai Khamti community called Likcho Lamang. We were talking about that. That's a Buddhist Ramayana. So that's one Ramayana. And apart from the stories are there are different stories within, because see, when you talk about the Ahom kingdom, it's not just the Ahom kingdom per se. There are many communities which formed part of the Ahom kingdom. So those different communities had their own stories. But if you're talking about a particular text which is popular, it is obviously that Thai Khamti Ramayana that I talked about. And as far as Khasi, yes, there's another Ramayana Homan can talk about.
As far as the yeah, I'll just talk about it. Yeah, well, I think we have a film screening after this, and you'll get glimpses of that and all of the northeastern traditions of Ramakatha in Northeast. But yeah, regarding Meghalaya, I'll just say that if you look into it, the text is basically very later, and it is more of a translation. But if you look into the belief and certain oral stories, you will find that Meghalaya is known for oranges. Okay, so it is believed that that when Hanuman was flying, actually with the Sanjeevani Putti, and then he was eating some oranges, and he threw away the oranges seed, and then it is why it is full of oranges. Okay, and so there are certain the stories abound in many of the regions. So that is why we are referring to a term called Ramakatha, not Ramayana, because this is stories which is with part of the belief system in their proverbs, in their sayings. For example, when you talk about insects and all, even we believe when we go out at night, not now basically, but earlier days we used to clap our hand 3 times and then say Sita Maya is coming, so that the snakes and the other animals will run away and will not harm you. So there's a logic behind it also, but it is part of the popular belief. So we'll find certain things in Mizoram, other part in Northeast, all of North. I think when you have to see the film after this, Bapada's film. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this question. I have got a reason for this. Can you please share the resources for lyrics of Sabe Alun and translation of the same in Hindi, English, or Sanskrit? There are two publications, one in 1976, one in 1986, by Assam Sahitya Sabha and Difu Sahitya Sabha. These two written, these books are very small. They are collected from scattered oral traditions. And in my collection, I included written text. I included the text and at the same time oral tradition. The king, whatever he recited, was also taken into consideration. And there are other reciters also. So it is not solely based on two texts. And so for translation is concerned, it was really, really a big question for me, as I don't know Karbi language, honest confession. But what I did is I sat with those Karbi people. I recorded, wherever I go, I just take it. Today I felt, I recorded with this, every person, every recitation, 6 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours. It helped me a lot. After that, I called them. I'm just sharing my experience. I called them to my hometown, asked them to leave for 4 or 5 days. Then this work start from morning 8 to evening 9 or 8. They sit with me, I play it, they listen, they translate it word by word, sentence by sentence. After that, what I do, I send them back. And after 2 or 3 months, again I call them and I request them, I lost my recording. Can you please re-explain it, retranslate it? They again retranslate it. And then I compare two versions. Is there any difference? If it is genuine, it will be the same. 80%, 90%, it will be same. Then sometimes again I call them. If one text I'm not clear, then I call them and request, please retranslate it. And you imagine the pain they have gone through. And the patience, most important. Whenever I requested them, the number never mattered to them. With same interest, same patience, they explained to me, and with the help of this, I translated it. There is no Sanskrit translation yet. And I express my gratitude to those people. That's why. Thank you.
To add to your question, actually, Ramcharitmanas got translated into Assamese the later part towards the end of the 18th century in the Ahom court. The Kamaleshwar Singha, he actually commissioned the translation of Ramcharitmanas. So the text got translated around maybe towards the later part of around 1780, 1800, around that period. Yeah.
सर मेरा वही क्वेश्चन था, नॉर्थ ईस्ट में जो राम कथा बोल रहे हैं उसका बेस क्या है? मूल वाल्मीकि रामायण को फॉलो किया है क्या, कैसा है उसका मूल क्या है?
It's difficult to give one specific answer because different their own basis. For example, Madhav Kandali, तो उन्होंने तो वाल्मीकि रामायण को फॉलो किया है, ठीक है, तो वो रामायण वाल्मीकि रामायण को फॉलो किया है. अब माधव कंदली के रामायण के जो आदि कांड है, तो मैंने पेपर में बोला था, जो गुम हो गया था, उसके बाद माधव देव ने उसको मतलब आदि कांड की रचना की थी. तो कहा जाता है माधव देव ने आदि कांड रचना करने में कृत्तिवास के आदि कांड से हेल्प लिया था, ठीक है, लेकिन ये वेरीफाइड इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं है. दिस इज सब्जेक्ट टू इन्वेस्टिगेशन. तो हम एक पक्का सोर्स नहीं बता सकते. तो कम्युनिटीज के ऐसे जैसे बताया कि दिस वाज पार्ट ऑफ अ लार्जर पीरियड, कि कैसे स्टोरीज ट्रेवल किया अक्रॉस द ब्रह्मपुत्र. दिस इज समथिंग Bapara is going to show how the stories travel along the Brahmaputra through different communities. ठीक है, तो हम यहाँ पे एक टेक्स्ट या एक ट्रेडिशन या एक पोएट या एक स्टोरी के बेसिस नहीं ले सकते. इट्स डाइवर्सिटी है, तो ये अनेकता को हमें थोड़ा उसमें
तो एक होगा ना
नहीं.
तो अभी बहुत से रामायण है, तो अपने अपने ट्रेडिशन के अनुसार वो बना ली है.
हाँ, अपने अपने डायनेमिक, जैसे कि मैं बोला कि माधव कंदिले के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में वाल्मीकि रामायण को उन्होंने रेफर किया है।
मैडम ने अभी बताया एक्सेप्टेंस के बारे में
जी,
तो वो जैसे उनके कम्युनिटी में एक्सेप्ट किया वैसे वो रामायण बना लिया।
एब्सोल्युटली एब्सोल्युटली। तो उसमें मूल या मतलब कुछ मूल की बात नहीं आती है इसमें, ठीक है। मूल आता तो इस कम्युनिटी स्पेसिफिक ये डायनामिक है कि किस कम्युनिटी ने किस तरह से रामकथा को एक्सेप्ट किया है या रामकथा की कहानी को अपने तरीके से बताने की जो उनकी जो ये एंडेवर है, तो उसको हमें कंसिडर करना होगा। यहाँ पे नॉर्थ ईस्ट को हम एक अम्ब्रेला टर्म नहीं कह सकते। नॉर्थ ईस्ट के अंदर भी जो विविधता है, उस विविधता को कम्युनिटी के उस संप्रदाय के हिसाब से हमें देखना होगा, उस समाज के हिसाब से हमें देखना होगा।
Yeah, exactly. So we cannot make the mistake of terming Northeast as one, because it's also very, very diverse, composed of so many different cultures bringing it together. So with this, I think
one thing. So far, Karbi Ramayana is concerned, they have migrated from this Tibet area. So their migration route is also to be taken into consideration, because it may not be that they have directly picked it up from this Kritivasi Ramayana or nearby some state. It may come from Southeast Asia. So it is further, there is further scope of research. That's
so entire Valmiki Ramayana. For any Ramayana.
Outline is same, sir. Outline is the same, but the facts, certain narration is, there is difference, characterization difference, places names, there is places. Not exactly Saptakanda, not exactly Saptakanda. Sometimes it's in the form of a story.
Yeah, and I think
I mentioned that thing. I mentioned that thing. I quoted from the text as well. He says that. So what is mentioned in Madhav Kandali's Ramayana, at the end of Lanka Kanda, he says, Hatokando Ramayan, Podabandhe Nibondilo, Lomba Pori Horujito, Mohamanikor Bule, Kaipor Kisu Dilu, Duktok Motile, Genokrito. That I have rendered the Ramayana in 7 cantos in metered verse form, thereby explicating or rather summarizing the chosen major narratives. Under the command and patronage of King Mahamanikya, I have only endeavored to provide some poetic flavor on my own in the way that butter or ghee is extracted from constant churning of milk. So the thing is, Lomba Porihori Harodhrita. It's like without going deeper, he has condensed certain things, has expanded upon certain stories, and for certain stories, Harudhrita, he has only summarized them. So this is a very active reworking of the text. It's not just our translation. तो मूल है, लेकिन मूल को उन्होंने अपने अनुरूप रीवर्क किया है, अर्थ का अनर्थ ना करके उसको अपने तरीके से अर्थ देने की प्रयास किया है। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, the presenters. I know we have pushed the time, but given the diversity of the presentations and the rare opportunity we have to be in presence of such scholars representing different parts of the country, and also talking about different Ramayana and their forms also like in different regions outside India. So we can say that the influence of Ramayana and the story of Rama has indeed had a deep impact on the human psyche, and has cut deep into the Indian society and also the South Asian society at large, and Southeast Asia and parts of East Asia as well. So therefore, we see that through the evolution and the multiple interpretations, Ramayana also actually invokes the transition of the society, which we were discussing on the first day, and even our Chancellor Shri Somaiya ji was saying that it also invokes a feeling where there is a transition from a God-fearing society to maybe more of a God-loving society, and which the Ramayana has actually emphasized. And to a neutral person, it seems that the Ramayana has emphasized more on the oneness of the universe and how every society has fondly claimed it as its own, as its very own, cross cultures, cross religions, and it has actually also moved from a more from a very self-centered world to a more considerate and a broader society, thus emphasizing on the essence of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or the world as one. So I grew up in Bengal, and while I was listening to the presentations of Drujati, Homan, and Rupanjoli, it also reminded me of how Tagore had also, like, very fondly, with admiration for the Ramayana, he celebrated the different verses of the Ramayana. Like, so your question also, like, whether it is based on mool kya hai. So different people, when they have looked into the Ramayana, they have taken different episodes and then through their imagination have narrated the stories, which we also see in Tagore's Kalmriga, and how through the dance drama based on also adding Rabindra Sangeet to it, how he has enacted parts of the Ramayana. And we were also talking yesterday, after yesterday's session with the gentleman here, how he was mentioning as well, like Ramayana, even now, even in Maharashtra, even in Mumbai, how it is being interpreted into different forms based on, you know, how people and society are also evolving, like sometimes through a thriller, sometimes through, you know, other genres of literature and plays and other forms of art as well. So also in Bengal, there is, other than Tagore, there was also Michael Madhusudhan Dutt, who had also taken different aspects of Ramayana and converted and expanded on the theme of the Ramayana, and which was actually very popularly received and till date has been enacted and over again. So therefore, retelling the Rama story, as we just heard from Drujati, Homen, and Rupanjali also. So it was very interesting to hear your presentation and how you talked about Madhav Kandli and his translation and interpretation of the Ramayana. However, you mentioned in your presentation that poet Madhav Kandli's interpretation and translation is one of the most popular translations of the Ramayana in Assam, is it? Yeah. So later, maybe I would also like to know about the other translations, because it's very interesting. And if you have some work, please do refer to us. And also, it was very interesting to talk about the formative development of the translation of the Ramayana and the different narratives, and especially how the translation had an impact on the northeastern region. And it was not just, as you had also mentioned, about Southeast Asia. So it didn't just have an impact on the northeastern part of India, but also to the southeastern region. Thus, once again, emphasizing on the diversity of the Indian subcontinent and the rich cultural heritage that India also attributes, and especially the pluralistic nature of the society, the culture, and the people. So therefore, recasting of the Ramayana narrative into different forms has been such an integral part of the entire region. So we see that through the presentations, Ramayana's contribution to the societal integration and also the development of the linguistic evolution and the forms in society, with development of new linguistic forms emerging, narrating and retelling the Ramayana story has also been very, very interesting in all the presentations. Very important aspect which has been brought out by the presentations were also secularism and the non-elite culture and the composition of the non-elite culture in the region, thus bringing a cross-caste, cross-religion and the aspects of these into the society. When Homen, when you were presenting about Manipur, there were the retelling of the Ramakatha and Ramakatha traveling to Manipur, it actually very closely echoed in my mind, and it was very a lot of the interpretations were also very, very similar to how in Bengal we are talking about Ramakatha as well. So therefore I could see the reflection of Krittibasa's Ramayana as well. And also the terms like Bamon and Jambuban, all of these terms, they are also very, very closely integrated with Ramayana in Bengal, Krittibasa's Ramayana. And especially another very important aspect that you mentioned was, other than the narration of stories and the oral history passing from generations, the humor, the aspect of humor been present in Ramayana and how people have also received it. Thus, we also see how Ramayana has become a very people's own. So therefore bringing in every aspect of the society. Once again, the last presentation emphasized and very beautifully elaborated on Ramayana and the aspect of equality that has been a very, very integral part of the Karbi traditions, and thus once again through their own customs, food, ritual, performance interweaved in the Karbi culture and life, how Ramayana has, while maintaining the indigenous characteristics of Ramayana, has localized it and has further portrayed the different characters in very, very powerful form. So once again, I would thank all the presenters for the beautiful presentation. Thank you, everyone. And with this, we'll bring the session to an end.
Thank you, madam.